that was me, every morning and every night. No concrete morning routine or sleep schedule. In other words, I'm a mess. And, let's face it, it's disgusting. I mean, I knew a change was needed, but I didn't know where to start. And that's when I found out about the Gordon Ramsay smart speaker. This state-of-the-art, no-nonsense home smart device is just like having the real Gordon Ramsay steer you into a strict morning routine and bring out the best in you.
I don't know how to wake you up anymore. You're like a zombie.
But I don't have to be up for another 6 hours.
Get out there! What is that? What is that? What is that?
It's breakfast.
It's raw!
And there goes my breakfast. The Gordon Ramsay smart speaker definitely changed my morning routine for sure. It offered to make me scrambled eggs. How in the world are those scrambled?
Hey you! Leave the jacket and get out!
I don't have to be at work for another 6 hours.
Get out!
Okay.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich, yeah. The Gordon Ramsay smart speaker, available on Etsy and eBay for some reason. Also available, the Bob Ross white noise machine.
Let's just put a happy little sky up here. Just making a little crisp.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. How about that cold open, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, 2 minutes of just hearing Gordon Ramsay yell at me. It's a dream come true. Yep, with sketches like that, I try to put in maximum effort at least once a year. Anyway, can you believe it's July already, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, it feels like just yesterday, everybody was causing frenzies during Spider-Man No Way Home showings. I mean, progress. But yeah, this year I wanted to do something a little different. If you're familiar with the show, normally we have about 5 segments every episode of me doing who knows what for about 20 minutes. But, I wanted to share my show with independent artists, singer-songwriters. And, we get to know them, and we get to hear some of their music. And I yield the second topic completely. I mean, the less you have to hear me talk and attempt to do jokes. I mean, it's a favor for you, it's a favor for me. Less writing this week. I mean, I didn't even have to write a complicated cold open quip, so thank you, Gordon Ramsay. So maybe you're like this, or someone like this, who's very superstitious. I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, they throw salt over their shoulder, they knock wood, they go around the ladder because they just cannot take their chances. You can never be too careful. And let's not forget. They spent their whole lives avoiding black cats. I mean, probably did a really good job avoiding them. I mean, sees one, they get all, "Not today, Salem. Last I checked, my name's not Sabrina, and I am no teenage witch, nah." I mean, to a lot of us, there are signs that point to good luck. I mean, take finding a penny on the ground, for example. I mean, if it's facing heads, a lot of people believe that means good luck. Now, finding a $5 bill on the ground, that is a whole nother story. I mean, it's all, oh, looks like there's a $5 bill on the ground. I'm just gonna, Take it. It must be my lucky day. Yep, it's all fun and games until the person who dropped it starts retracing their steps. Your proud self hadn't even left the building yet, so they go right to you. Like, hey dude, did you happen to see a $5 bill on the floor? I dropped it. A 5 on the floor. I mean, there was a nickel on the ground over there in the corner. Just give him back his money. Loudmouth. And how about this in the TikTok world? Charli D'Amelio, that's a familiar name on this show. Yeah, Charli D'Amelio has been #1 on TikTok, and she's held that title for 2 years. I mean, she was even the first to hit 100 million followers. Just last week, somebody surpassed her record, and now they're #1. I mean, that is some luck right there. I mean, surpassing Charli D'Amelio. Her sister Dixie has been trying to do that for years. But, sorry. I love the D'Amelios. But some congratulations are in order, I guess. So congrats. Well, I really should have learned how to pronounce your name before filming today. Something I never understood is how come when it comes to theater or theatre, you can't tell the actors good luck. You say something like break a leg. Okay, this is a tough one because imagine, you're in the huddle with the cast, and then the curtain's about to open, it's showtime, and then someone just says, all right everybody, just go on out there and break a leg. Imagine being the cast of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. Don't remember? Don't know? Google it. It was a disaster. So take this for example. You go to the carnival, you go to the arcade, or that one restaurant with the claw machine. I mean, you call it fun. That stuff is gambling for kids. I mean, Ma, please, just $1 more, please. I'll feed Scooby when we get home. I gotta get that stuffed animal out of the claw machine. The claw is evil. It doesn't want to pick up the teddy bears. Okay, just $1 more, okay. Thank you, Ma. I owe you one big time. I just started doing that Ma thing, I think a year ago, and I don't even know if it's catching on, but shoot. Ma, remember when I said $1 more? You got 4 quarters, 10 dimes, 20 nickel. True story, actually. I was at one of those Dave and Buster's type places, and it took 3 game cards, but I won a Roku out of the key machine game. The one where you're so close and then it decides to just hit the wall, like, ooh. I mean, those key machines basically come with their own carny. Oh, so close, try again. Has that stick, just resets. But yeah, I actually won the Roku, and even better, I was not tackled on the way out of the building. So that was a surprise. Although an Escalade did follow me all the way home, which I wonder why that was. Well, we have a lot of show to fill, so that being said, I'm gonna need a minute. Alright, let's kick off Singer-Songwriter Appreciation Month. My guest this week is a folk singer based in Toronto, Canada, and his album Free Times is available on YouTube and Apple Music, to name a few places. With his original song, The Scar, please welcome to the show, Dany Horovitz.
I loved you all my naked life. I loved you from afar. I loved you for your sorrow. I loved you for your scar. I loved it when we passed each other in the hall. I cherished every wave from you, each smile and every call. But I hated every day with you, your beauty and your youth. Was jealous of your love for me. I couldn't stand the truth that I only loved you from afar. I picked you up as 7 angels played their hallowed horns. You plucked my strings, I put you down, and cursed you when you knew the chords. In the dark you failed to see the light that wasn't there. You told me that you loved me. You knew it wasn't fair. Yes, I hated every day with you, your beauty and your youth. Was jealous of your love for me. I couldn't bear the truth that I only loved you from afar. Yes, I loved you when you left me with your scar. I loved you in my sorrow, loved you from afar, and I still do, but only from afar. I always will, but only from afar. Thank you for listening.
Right, that was excellent, and here he is, Dany Horovitz. Dany, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me. I hope if I'm not bad later, you can.
No, you're absolutely fine. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's poorly lit, and we're using an old camera. Shame, but anyway, everybody wants to know. So, how did you get your start in music?
I've been playing guitar since I was a teenager, since writing songs since I was a teenager. And I came out with my first album just this past year. I started recording it during the pandemic, after years and years of playing to the 4 walls in my bedroom or doing some open mic nights. I pulled the trigger, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I've been very lucky to have gotten on some terrific playlists, and I'm just trying to grow my audience as much as I can,
Yeah, that's excellent. That's great. So when somebody hears your music, I mean, do you have a lot of inspirations behind your style and your sound? Because I hear a lot of John Mayer, Jack White, Jason Mraz. Like, are those guys your inspirations at all?
Those are huge compliments. I mean, I like all those guys, and in particular, I love John Mayer. I think he's a terrific storyteller, and I love storytellers, people who come up with great melodies and harmonies. You can see that in my influences.
I know this is a random question, but do you remember your first CD player, your first radio?
I remember all of that. So just going all the way back, my grandfather was a jeweler, and in Montreal he had a jewelry store, but he got robbed enough that he converted it to a record store. So when I was growing up, when I was a kid, even though we lived in Toronto, my house was filled with all these records from my dad having worked in my grandfather's record shop. So it's full of all this old music. And I remember playing the record player. Even now I have vinyl, and I love vinyl. Later, of course, was a thing in the 90s. You might remember to take a cassette, put it in one radio, listen to the radio in the other, wait for the song to come on, hit record, and that's how you make a mixtape.
Yeah, those were great times.
Besides like listening to the old CDs and old vinyl, was when I got to university, a friend of mine, because he knew I loved music, was like insisting that I get an iPod. And I was like, who needs that? But it was revolutionary. It changed my life. Then I could listen to, Leonard Cohen walking around the university, and I could listen to the Beatles walking around the city at night.
Such an acquired taste, Leonard Cohen and the Beatles. Wow, that's pretty sophisticated stuff.
Did you see the Get Back documentary on Disney Plus about the Beatles?
Yes, I actually loved how they had real footage from a rehearsal. Yeah.
And do you remember Paul McCartney's? He's playing around on the bass. He's just
Mhm.
fiddling around on the guitar or
Yeah.
the bass, and he comes up with the opening, basically the nuts and bolts of the song. Get Back. And all through the years, Paul McCartney is talking about how, like, well, I'm just fiddling around on my guitar, when I write a
Yeah.
song. What is this? You're a genius. That's too modest. But you see it
Yeah.
in action. And it literally is just like fiddling around on the bass, and then it just out of thin air happens,
Mhm.
and that kind of is inspiration. Whatever is happening in the ether, your memories, your talents, your experience, everything filters through you in that moment, and you're able to do something,
Yeah.
sometimes trash and sometimes beautiful.
So you're based in Canada, and I just wanted to know, because I've asked all my Canadian friends and everybody I've ever met who's from Canada, ketchup chips, like, what are your thoughts on those?
Love them. Ketchup chips
Yeah.
are the best. We have ketchup chips and we have ketchup Doritos. They're the
Yep.
best. But we also have another flavor called all dressed, which you might have in America now, but
Mhm.
they didn't used to have.
Yeah, a few years back, there used to be a contest with Lay's, and people would submit flavors, and for a while we had like a lot of crazy flavors.
We did that in Canada for a while, and the winner was salt and pepper Lay's. Very simple, salt and pepper.
If you're not, sometimes simplicity is the best. You gotta admit that.
I love them, and they were in stores for like a couple of years, and then they dropped them, and I hope they bring them back.
Now that song you played for us, the Scar, very beautiful song. I loved the acoustic rendition of it. Great stuff. I'd like to know more of the backstory. I mean, did somebody hurt you back in the day? Like, is it about a past relationship?
And so many of the songs that I have are like something that I was feeling or something that I went through, and then I change it enough that it's a totally different story. But the scar actually came from a poem that I had written. One day I got out of the shower and I had this just scar on my forehead, and I was looking at my mirror, and the words "I've loved you all my naked life, I've loved you for your scar" kind of came to me. I put that down on my phone, and I thought, that's good. What do I do with that?
Yeah.
And then eventually, finding maybe a bit of like of emotions and things that I have gone through, I thought, well, what if there's this great story, kind of like Gulliver's Travels?
Thank you so much. I was wondering what that Jack Black movie was called, where he's a giant and he's all tied up on the beach. Gulliver's Travels. That's it. Tongue twister. Yeah, that was one of my favorite stories growing up.
When he goes to the Lilliputians, the little people, he sees them that they're perfect. And then when he goes to the land of the giants, they're so big, he sees all of their blemishes. And I thought that's a great metaphor for how we get to know people.
I mean, that's amazing how an artist gets their inspiration.
And I was, taking a bit from Gulliver's Travels and maybe a bit of what I've been through on both sides of the equations, and just crafted an original story. So it's among my least personal songs, but funny that I also, now when I hear it, maybe because it's so impersonal, I kind of connect with it as a listener and a singer more than I do some of the slightly more personal songs.
Well, Dany, you're fantastic. You're very talented. Where can the audience find you?
I am on all the digital streaming platforms. My first album that you heard, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, it's on Amazon Music, it's on YouTube, everywhere. Just search for me, DanyHorovitz. I'm on Instagram. That's probably where I have my biggest presence, at Dany Horovitz. I'm on TikTok with a small but growing presence, at Dany Horovitz. I am on Twitter, but I got to be honest, I mostly use Twitter just to like retweet things about the Toronto Raptors, which is my team. And I am on Facebook as well, although I know less people are on Facebook. So if you listen to streaming platforms, please follow me. I would love your ear. I'd love to hear from you. Connect with me on social media. Please follow me along. And if you like the stuff on Free Times, what's coming out is going to be even better, I promise.
Dany, thank you so much. Free Times is Dany's album. It's available wherever you find music. So YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. Insert streaming platform here. Dany, thank you so much.
I had a great time talking with you. It was a lot of fun. And like I said, stay in touch, and I hope to talk to you again.
It's time for that weekly list known as the possibility list. It's kind of like when the school supplies call for a dictionary, but then you send your kid to school with a thesaurus. Like, what? Alright, this week's list is titled 5 Scenarios Where Inanimate Objects Make the Front Page of the Tabloids. No hesitating with this one whatsoever. Number 5. Spatula says, call me Slotted Turner. Number 4. Lifestyle of batteries. Just triple A's in a double A world. Number 3. Pair of pants split. Number 2. Arizona spills the tea. Turkey Hill denies claims of turkey in their juice. And number 1. 5 scenarios where inanimate objects make the front page of the tabloids. Tiger Goes Bald opens up about history of smoking and burnout. Alright, and that is the possibility list for you this week. Alright, so you might have noticed the picture quality has been improved a little in this broadcast. Yeah. Why did it take so long? It turns out it was a color correction thing, and in English, it's a me problem. Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for putting up with the graininess and the really bad picture quality all season. I mean, like, when the season started, it was okay, it was passable. But then progressively, as the season went on, I start looking more orange. And then, before you know it, we have shows like last show that look like that. I mean, take a look at this. This clip and this clip are literally from the same episode. My word. And don't get me wrong, the picture is still bad. I mean, just passable for now. We are so getting a new camera next season. Alright, so next week, Singer-Songwriter Appreciation continues, and my guest will be Natalie Miranda, an independent artist based in London. Why don't we check out some of her work? I'm looking forward to it. And that is the show for you this week. You know how to follow me on social media. Until next time, remember, you could always be a glass half full or a glass half empty. But where's that waiter with your refill? Okay, that is my time. Thank you so much.